Hey guys, today we have Saptarshi and he is having total 5 year of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices domain. And those who want to give same frame of interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Saptarshi, how are you?
Hey, hi, I'm good, and you?
Yes, I'm also good. Shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
So basically, I'm Saptarshi Ganguly. In total, I have 5 years of experience, and into Java backend development, I have 4.8 to 4.9 years of experience. Currently, I'm working in Oracle Financial Services, and previous to that, I worked in companies like Amdocs and TCS. And coming to my tech stack majorly involves core Java, advanced Java, Spring Boot, and some experiences on the microservices part also. And on
Mm-hmm.
the database side, I have exposure to Oracle database, and cloud, I have exposure to Microsoft Azure Cloud. And for normal pipelines, I have been using Jenkins and Docker pipeline majorly. And also on the domain side, I have majorly experience in domain into banking and telecom domain. As of now, right now, I'm working in the banking domain, and also I have worked with telecom domain. So yeah, that's like a small introduction about me.
Okay, okay. So what's your day-to-day task as you are having total 5 year experience? You might be leading a project or like what? Tell us.
So basically, like I'm working as a development team only. I'm working as a
Development.
part of the development team only. So we are
Mm-hmm.
working in an agile approach, and user stories are being assigned to us. So mostly we are working on those user stories, doing the changes, doing the enhancement as per the requirements. And also there is a separate testing team with which we are working. If any defects or
Mm-hmm.
issues come up,
Okay,
we are
okay.
fixing those defects also. And during UAT phase also, if any issues come up
Mm-hmm.
to the client, we are also working with the clients to fix those issues or helping them understanding. Also if production issues something come up or
Mm-hmm.
production deployment, that time also
Okay, okay.
we are responsible.
Okay. So what happens if a class implements comparable and you use a custom comparator in sorting? Which one takes precedence?
So okay, so basically if a class implements the comparable, right, and if
Uh-huh.
we are doing the, I think so the overriding happens, the overriding happens of the custom comparable comparator which we are implementing. I think the overriding happens basically.
Yeah, yeah. If a comparator is provided, it overrides a natural ordering, comparable,
Yes, yes,
right,
right.
during sorting. Yeah, yeah. Correct. Okay. So tell me the internal working of hash map in Java 8 and how does it differ from Java 7?
Sure. Basically, let me first tell the Java, like the internal working of HashMap. Basically, HashMap is
Mm-hmm.
working in nothing way in the concept of buckets, basically. So what is happening is
Mm-hmm.
internally the buckets represent, which are nothing but a set of array list, basically arrays, and internal linked list it is containing. So whenever a key value is passed, it is calculating the hash code of that particular key value, and at the
Mm-hmm.
point which at the bucket index which it is getting, it is storing in that particular bucket only. Like for example, if a key value is 8, it is storing at the 8th index particularly. And
Mm-hmm.
if a hash collision is happening, or if two values are having the same hash code, that time
Mm-hmm.
internally it's creating a linked list and it is storing the values basically. And the enhancement which was done in Java, it was basically after the maximum width of maximum limit of
Mm-hmm.
the hash, I mean the bucket is reached, that time instead of storing them in a linked list format, it is storing basically in a balanced tree. Basically the
Okay.
everything, the data is stored in the balanced tree, and the help is we are getting is basically the time complexity is much reduced while retrieving the
Hmm.
values.
Okay, okay. Okay, so tell me, how does Java ensure visibility of shared data in multi-threading without using synchronize?
Okay, so for using Java ensuring data, I think so. Volatile is it for ensuring? I think I'm not remembering exactly right
Okay,
now.
okay. So have you heard about volatile keyword?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
actually, internally Java uses volatile keyword and JMM, Java Memory Model.
Okay. Right. Right. Yes. Yes. I
Yeah.
was aware of the volatile.
Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, I want to share something important with you. Actually, Saptarshi prepared from our interview preparation kit and cracked multiple interviews. We also have referred him to multiple companies. So, let me tell you, the interview preparation kit has four main parts. The first is complete interview preparation material. It's a step-by-step material made by me, experts and MNCs interviewers. 99% of the questions asked in interviews are covered in it. Second is two real enterprise client projects. Code and video recorded sessions are there in this part, and you can add this in your resume. Third is lifetime chat support. Here you can ask your doubts anytime. Fourth is referral support. Here we help you get referred on top MNCs. So basically, the material is organized as per your experience level and covers Java, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data JPM, microservices, Kafka, Maven, Git, coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. You can buy just a complete interview preparation material or the full kit with the projects, support, and referrals. I have added the links in the description below. So now moving to our interview. So Saptarshi, I would like to know the feedback of our interview preparation kit, whether that was helpful for you or not. Can you please share your opinion, true feedback?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I have been using the interview kit which has been
Mm-hmm.
providing by Java, and it was like really helpful for me. And I have given interviews to 10 plus companies right now, and I think so 90 to 95% questions were
Okay.
matching. Not only the theory questions, the coding
Mm-hmm.
questions were matching. So it was really helpful for me.
Okay. Thank you. So, Saptarshi, can you explain what happens when you create a new object in Java? How is memory basically allocated and managed?
So basically, I think so. First, while we while we're creating an object in Java,
Mhm.
basically, I think so. The object is stored in the heap memory. I believe so. It is stored in the heap memory. For the
Mhm.
object, it's stored in the heap memory, and once like it is accessed from the heap particularly, the object is created, it is accessed from the heap,
Mhm.
and I think so. Once the reference is removed from the heap memory, maybe it is moved to the stack. After that, I think so. The once the reference is not present in the heap memory, maybe it is moved to the stack, and from the stack, I think so, it is accessed unless and until the
Mhm.
garbage collection happens. So in which the object reference is released automatically.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Can you tell me what's the difference between final, effectively final, and immutable?
So basically, final and fine immutable, right? You are asking.
Mhm.
So yeah, basically the main difference between final and immutable is final is a keyword provided by Java
Mhm.
basically. So if we want to mark a variable or a class, we don't want to change
Mhm.
the value of a variable, or we don't want child class to access the parent class, that
Mhm.
time we mark it as final. But immutable is nothing. Immutable is a design pattern
Mhm.
that we defined by Java, where if we don't want to change the behavior of a object or maybe object, that time we generally prefer this immutable. And we can
Mhm.
generally string is one of the immutable classes provided by Java, and also we can create our own immutable classes
Okay.
by ourselves.
Okay. Okay. So, do you know about fork join pool?
For join pool, actually I am not much aware of the implementation, but I think so like in Java 8 the parallel stream works on the concept of fork join pool basically. Like the
Mhm.
working, I am not much aware of the what is fork join pool, but yeah, it's generally we parallel streams work with the help of fork join pool.
Yeah, yeah, parallel task for
Yeah.
recursive task. Okay. Okay, so let's say you have a concurrent hash map and you put null as a value. So what happens?
So I think so in concurrent hash map we can't have null value, like it will be throwing an error. We can't have null values in concurrent hash map.
Hmm. May I know the reason?
So I think so like the reason is basically like I think so like since it's a multi-threading, like concurrent hash map is generally synchronized. So I think
Hmm.
so like, and it's also it's a fail fast iterator, I believe so, like concurrent hash map. So I think so that's why like the null value is not allowed in the concurrent hash map. But I have
And
to check.
also to avoid ambiguity, basically, in
Okay.
current get put operations.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Can you explain the use of thread local?
Thread local, right? Thread
Yeah, yeah.
local. Thread local. Nope, I am not right now. I am not
Okay,
like.
okay. Yeah, it's an important concept. Actually, it stores the data isolated per thread.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. In the request context.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Moving ahead. How does Spring resolve circular dependencies at runtime with proxies?
So basically, for resolving Spring like circular dependencies or maybe deadlocks, so basically to avoid circular dependencies, the best thing which we can do is basically do the lazy initialization. So instead of doing the eager initialization, we can do the lazy initialization when Spring, like when a particular object will be initialized only whenever needed. That's the
Hmm.
one of the thing which we can do. Another thing also you can do is like the by using the constructor based injections basically, by taking
Yeah.
help of the constructor based injection we can avoid the circular dependencies. So I think so these are two ways by which we can avoid circular dependencies. One of these by doing a lazy initialization, and then by
Okay.
implementing.
So
Yeah.
one second. Constructor injections are helpful for resolving circular dependencies, or setter injections are helpful?
So I believe so it's a constructor injection is only helpful.
Uh, no, I think actually constructor injection fails because both means requires each other before being fully constructed.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
then I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, I think setter injections are helpful here to resolve circular dependencies at runtime.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Okay. Can you tell me the difference between mock bean and mock annotation?
Mock bean and mock annotation is, I
Hmm.
think, so basically. Okay.
We use these annotations in JUnit test
Right.
cases, right?
Yes, yes. Unit test cases, we
Mm-hmm.
generally prefer the mock annotation. So I think so for
Mm-hmm.
mocking a value or getting some values or data in our mock test, so that time we are generally preferring the mock annotation in JUnit. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think so mock bean is generally used in Spring Boot concept. Generally, it's preferred in the Spring Boot. Like whenever you want to create a bean or want to mock some beans, so that's I think
Hmm.
so that time we're generally preferring the mock bean.
Yeah, yeah, correct. So basically, it registers a mock as a Spring Bean in the application context and replacing the actual bean.
Okay.
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 Okay, so what happens if you define a bean in a multiple configuration files with the same name?
So basically, if we define a bean with the same name in multiple configurations file,
Mm-hmm.
ambiguity might come up, and Spring won't be understanding how to figure which one to pick up. So errors might come up. So basically, to handle this, we have the concept of qualifiers, or even the primary annotation is also present. So with the help
Mm-hmm.
of the primary annotation, we can like mark or tell exactly which bin to refer to it, and even
Mm-hmm.
qualifiers is also present. And like profile in the case of profiles, or maybe if in environment specific, we can take help of the profile annotation also.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Okay.
these are different ways for avoiding ambiguity.
Hmm. Okay, okay. So let's say you have declared configuration properties annotation, right? But it's returning null values. What could be wrong in this situation?
So I think so like for the configuration properties is value defined, and I think so maybe it is not, it might not be getting the value exactly from the configuration class. It won't be
Mm-hmm.
getting the value from the configuration class exactly. So it might be returning, it might be pointing to the correct configuration, but maybe the value assignment like issue might be present in the value assignment. I think so.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As per my understanding, I mean, missing enable configuration properties could be the reason. Also, no component annotation on class,
Right.
right? No setter, getter injections, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay. Uh, okay. So, how does thread scope work in Spring? Can it
So
be used in async methods?
yeah, thread scope, right? No.
Mm-hmm.
Thread scope. I think so. I'm not aware of the thread
Okay,
scope in
okay.
basically in the Spring Boot concept.
It's being context. Okay, yeah, it's fine. So basically, thread scope ties a bean's lifecycle to a single thread. It cannot be directly used in async method since async may run on different threads.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So have you heard about no such bean definition exception?
Yes, right. I am aware of the no such bean definition
Uh-huh.
exception. Generally, if whenever the application context is not able to find a bean, basically,
Mm-hmm.
so it won't be getting the bean, maybe which is defined in the configuration class.
Mm-hmm.
That time, which it generally throws the error like no bean, no such bean
Mm-hmm.
exception, no such bean exception. It throws.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So tell me, how do you ensure performance in large paginated queries using Spring Data JPA?
Yeah, so for basically for installing large the large queries, so the first thing which we should be careful about pagination we should be implementing, like proper
Mhm,
pagination should be implemented. And then also another thing which we should be implementing in the large queries is like
mhm,
the limit, like caching should also be proper, caching should also be done, like the
mhm,
caching implementation we can do. And
mhm,
the indexing also we can handle, like the indexing also we can handle. I think these are the different types of, also by the indexing the primary key index or the necessary indexing
mhm,
basically. I think so this can the different ways by for ensuring a large running query in the
mhm.
JPA.
Okay, okay. So can you tell me a real practical example of many to one annotation? Let's say you are uh, creating a project from the sketch and you are using many to one annotation, right? So tell me the example where it would be helpful.
So basically, for many to one annotation, it can be helpful in the banking if you are creating. So
Mm-hmm,
basically, in a banking application, suppose one offer is there. Maybe we want to, or a credit card. Let me give an example of a
mm-hmm,
credit card only. So, credit card is launched by a bank, and many users, basically all the users who's having monthly like transaction of above 1 lakh or something like that. If we want to give
mm-hmm,
the particular single credit card, so that time we can do the many to one mapping. Maybe from the user table we can fetch the transaction limit of many of the users who are having this 1 lakh or more than 1 lakh limit, and to one this particular credit card which is having this
mm-hmm,
special feature, so you can access. So many to one mapping we can implement in
mm.
that case.
Okay, okay. Sorry. So what happens when you delete a parent entity? with a one-to-many annotation, cascade type set to all.
Okay, so parent, if you delete the parent entity, the cascade set. I think so. Like the whole, even the child classes will also be
Hmm.
getting deleted. Like it will, the child class will also getting impacted. Basically,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
delete
All child entities will also be deleted.
exactly
Uh,
yes, since the cascade type is all, so it will lose
mhm.
all. Like everything will be deleted.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, how would you enforce uniqueness across multiple fields in a JPA entity?
So for increasing like uniqueness, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uniqueness across the field. Like so maybe you can you do it with the help of the primary key, basically indexing like primary key? Can we do it like exactly? I'm not remembering right
Yeah, yeah.
now.
Primary key for it will, I mean, yeah, it's a way, but we can also use unique constant for each
Yeah,
column.
right. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
right.
the primary will be, I mean, we can use that for one
Right,
column,
right.
right? Mm.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Uh, uh, moving ahead. Uh, can you tell me how to implement idempotency in a post API in a payment service?
For implementing a idempotency, right? In
Mm-hmm.
post service, basically. So patch. I think so. With the patch mapping, like in the patch, with the help of the patch mapping, we can implement the idempotency basically. Like if
Mm-hmm.
we want to just update, like update the student name of a particular student name, if you want to just update the maybe the marks or anything. So with the help
Mm-hmm.
of the patch mapping, maybe the with the patch HTTP type, I mean in the a patch method, we can update it. Like we can do the same update of a same student again and again. Is it?
Mm-hmm. Maybe, but as per my understanding, we could use idempotency key like UUID per request. Through this store, we could store processed keys in DB and cache. If the same key come again, return the stored response instead of reprocessing.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay. So let's say your microservice goes down under sudden load. Okay. What checks would you perform?
So basically, the thing like if a microservices goes down, it's suddenly likely to. So
Mm-hmm.
firstly, I'll be checking the memory, like the memory or the available memory which is
Mm-hmm.
present. That's the first thing which I'll be checking if like the memory got overloaded or not. And then the
Mm-hmm.
second check, I'll be doing the load balancing check. I'll be checking like whether proper load balancer is implemented or not. What is the reason going for this? And also like I'll
Mm-hmm.
be checking like which like what's the service, if any third party, like the proper logs and everything also
Mm-hmm.
with the help of the loggers, like if any like if what's the logs or what which is the service, maybe some third party services is
Mm-hmm.
impacting or not. So I think so these are the different things by which we can check. First, the load balancing is the most important. I think so the
Mm-hmm.
load memory balancing and the memory needs to be checked. These two are the most important ways for
Okay.
checking it.
Okay. So let's say you are calling three microservices in parallel. One fails. What's the best try strategy to apply?
So basically, suppose if one fails and if the two is coming and the one fails. So I think so. The best thing we right now we can in this we can implement is basically like based on the scenario we have to implement. Like, but two things are there. One is the circuit breaker we can implement in this case,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe like in the payment is happening. Let's say the pump payment transaction is happening and two services doing the payment and third is calling the maybe the third party payment service or
Mm-hmm.
anything. So in that case, I can implement circuit breaker, which will be checking the response if we are getting proper response from this third one or not. Once you will
Mm-hmm.
be getting the third response, the circuit breaker will go to the closed state, and again it will work finally. That is one of the thing I can do. And maybe the another thing which I can do, maybe some transactions are happening in case of Saga design pattern basically.
Mm-hmm.
So suppose each of the microservices is interdependent on each other. One does, two does, and three does. So maybe if failure happens in the third part, maybe so what I can do is with the help of the Saga, basically the normal or which design patterns are present on the Saga tool, so you can just
Mm-hmm.
roll back to the previous step to the first microservices maybe. So I think so these two we can implement as per the requirement and as per the design.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Okay. So tell me the purpose of Spring Boot DevTools.
Spring Boot, yeah, Spring Boot DevTools are nothing. Just it's basically one of the actuators only. It is used for
Mm-hmm.
monitoring all the like monitoring the Spring Boot
Mm-hmm.
application, the log monitoring or the memory monitoring. Also, you can do, or even the profile which is being environment which is being used. I think so. These are the
Mm-hmm.
different types of monitoring we can do with the
Mm-hmm.
help of the Spring DevTools.
Okay, okay. So when should it not be used?
So I think so. This thing, Spring Dev tools, we can't use. Maybe if we are, if maybe many of the like maybe in small applications. I think so. In the small applications, we should be avoiding when much monitoring, like when we don't need much details. I think like monolithic types. Basically, that time we
Mm,
can avoid the Spring Dev tools
okay.
also.
Okay. Also, it should not be used in production because
Yeah.
it may impact performance and security.
Of
Okay.
course. Yes. 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 Right.
Okay. So let's say you are asked to store GitHub secrets for CI securely. What would be your approach?
So basically for GitHub secrets, as I said, like I have been using Microsoft Azure Cloud only. So
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft Azure is having like key vault feature basically with which we
Mm-hmm.
can get the secrets keys generally, and also a particular like we can store the secrets or the GitHub secrets in that particular key vault, and we can from the or Jenkins file or maybe whenever it is needed access based on the proper authentication of the make ID, we can
Mm-hmm.
allow it to access that particular secret.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So let's say your application's response time suddenly degrades in production, right? So how do you profile and fix the bottleneck?
So basically, for profiling and fixing the bottleneck for the performance, first I need to like find the root cause. Generally, what is causing this the
Mm-hmm.
failure of this basically. So maybe if a long running query is there, or maybe some
Mm-hmm.
response is coming slowing the payload, I have to analyze that basically. So after that, I have to handle is basically I need to handle the query, the long running
Mm-hmm.
query. I need to check, and the transactions also I need to check if anything is running long time or anything is running long or not. Then
Mm-hmm.
after that, to handle the bottleneck, first I'll be trying to reproduce in my dev environment and fix the basically the issue which is coming. So I can try different ways for fixing the API long running. Maybe I can optimize the queries which are being used and then reduce the payload. Maybe instead of all the details in a single API, I can define two separate APIs. Also, I can implement the caching mechanism also in my
Mm-hmm.
application. I think these are the different ways by which I can handle the slowness.
Okay. 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 So Saptarshi, now I'll give you a few coding questions, and
Okay.
you have to do those by Stream API, right?
Okay.
Can you please share your screen and open any editor?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So are you comfortable, right?
Yes. Yes. No issues. I can see. Yeah. Is it visible? Yes.
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you are given an array of numbers, right? And uh, you have to print first non-repeating number in the array. Please do this by Stream API.
Yeah. Sure. So can I use array list or I need to use the array only?
You can use array list or array. It's up to you. Put 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 in the array list. Now 3 should be the output, right?
Right. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, sorry. So can
Yeah,
you explain the code?
yeah, sure. So basically, what I have done is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just I'm storing all the numbers
Can
in
you
an array.
hide this left bar?
Okay, this one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure. So basically, I have stored the values in an array list, and I
Mm-hmm.
have been declaring an optional for storing the values and stream I am taking, and I am doing the collect, and I am just doing the counting of each of the elements. Like for example, one is present, collectors dot counting, two is present, collector dot counting, and three is present, so collector dot again one is present, so one is becoming two, and basically I'm creating a map. So
Map.
the looks like this: one is two, two is two,
Mm-hmm.
and three is one. Basically simple key
Mm-hmm.
value I'm storing, and then the normal this map I'm converting to stream. And then
Mm-hmm.
what I am doing is I am filtering out all the maps where the value is equals to equal, like the first non-repeating,
Mm-hmm.
so whose count should be one. Okay, so basically the first non-repeating it is getting as three. So basically the element which is having the value as three, I'm picking up, it's fetching the basically the key of that particular value. So three
Mm-hmm.
is here, and I'm just storing doing the find. So what would happen here? Maybe four was also present of one, or maybe let's consider. So
Mm-hmm.
if I haven't used this find first, so it would be picking up any random ones, but we need the first non-repeating one. So that's why I'm using this find first.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, that's correct. There is one more way to do this, I think. There is a method frequency of, I think inside the map or filter, I just forget it. Uh, we could check the frequency of each character without making a map, something like that. So you can also explore that.
Okay, yeah, I
Okay.
need to check that.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Yeah, but this is also correct.
yes,
Okay. So now can you print the sum of all these numbers in the
yeah,
next lines?
sure. Using Java 8.
Yeah, yeah, using Java. Right. Yeah, inside brackets. Give one more brackets. Pass x1, x2, something like that. Like give x1 comma x2, then arrow the x plus 1, x1 plus x2.
Yes.
Give x1 and x2 inside the brackets. I mean x1 comma x2 inside the bracket. I mean under the bracket. Give one more end bracket.
No, yes.
Okay. The submission. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
that's correct. So yes, you can now unshare your screen and Saptarshi. It's done from my
Yeah.
end.